Hey, what's up? My name is Isaac Reeves, aka Life With Ikey. I'm a 20-year-old creator from New York City who loves customizing things every now and then. In this series, you'll get an in-depth look at my process behind making new customs, and hopefully you'll be able to take away a few tips to use when making customs of your own. Now, before we get into this episode, make sure you're subscribed and click that notification bell. That allows you to be notified anytime I drop a new video, so you never miss out. Are you subscribed? Perfect, thank you. Now, let's get into it. Welcome to Life With Ikey. So in the last episode, I got started on a new project that my uncle gave me. Take a shirt and a fedora and customize them in a way that they complement each other. And not gonna lie, it was a tad bit difficult getting started, but I was able to get most of the prep work done. Now, I'm ready to get to work. So based off of the original concept that I had for the shirt, I'm taking the fabric of a flannel that I had and making it into a pocket so I can sew it onto the new custom. But no more than halfway through sewing the pocket onto the shirt do I run into an issue. My needle breaks. Now, to be fair, it was a lot harder to sew than usual for two different reasons. One, I used fabric glue, and that made it a lot tougher for the needle to go through. And then the second thing, I was using embroidery floss, which is considerably thicker than regular sewing thread. But I was being lazy and I didn't want to go to the store to get some actual thread, so I had to make do with what I had. And now, on top of my needle breaking, I can't even thread the embroidery floss through the new needle. I cannot believe this. No way. But I'm finally able to get back on track and finish sewing the pocket onto the shirt. Now, in the last episode, I told you guys how much I love food and I love to eat. And we got pizza this time. And this is my first outside meal the entire time I've been in quarantine thus far. So needless to say, I'm super excited. All right, it's time to get back to work. So the working idea that I have for this shirt is to pretty much paint a big cross on the right side of the shirt underneath the pocket. But I'm not entirely sure exactly what else I'm gonna do with it, but that doesn't stop me from starting the prep work. Taking off the cross with masking tape and painting a white underbase. The underbase basically is a layer of white paint that allows color to be added on and make them pop a lot more. And the masking tape just allows me to get nice, clean, and crisp lines. The initial idea for the cross was to do some sort of word collage. And I thought it would look super dope, especially peeling back the tape and having some parts of the words, on the actual cross. But my paint pens aren't really sticking to the white underbase. So I just paint over it and decide to do a sunset gradient instead. I found that when working with acrylic paints and doing gradients, it's best to work from your lightest color up to your darkest color. So after about an hour nap, the paint is finally dry. And on an impulse, I decide to add some paint splatters. So I tape off the rest of the shirt. And I use two paintbrushes, one filled with paint, one without, to just knock the paint splatters on to make tiny dots that look like stars.
Well, boys, we hit the jackpot this time.
Ooh! Nah, what? Nah, this is crazy. is crazy. So it's the next day, and I'm able to get a full look at the work that I've done so far, and this thing is dope. Like, the gradient effect works perfectly in contrast with the all black shirt, and then the white stripes that I added on the left side and the buttons portion, just phenomenal. So as I said before, anytime I make a new custom, there's rarely a time where I have a concrete idea in my mind of what the final project is going to look like. And that's because I start working on my customs piece by piece, and every time I add a new piece and I'm able to see it, it inspires me to add something else. I kind of follow my gut when it comes to doing customs. Thanks, gut. Yeah, and back here for my little thing in the sky. When I look up,
Boys, we hit the jackpot this time.
This is crazy, bro. Like an actual. Yo, it's an actual functioning coffee, bro. So it's Easter Sunday, and this is my first Easter not actually, going to church, and I just kind of had a lot of things on my mind about what Easter really meant and means to me. I'm so grateful for today, man. Like, this Easter Sunday, I'm happy, I'm living, I'm alive, I'm well, I'm not sick, I got my family, yeah, this is what it's all about. Like, faith plays a really big role in how I live my life and what I do. And I'm reminded of a question that my friend asked me the other day about the role that faith plays in my life and how I'm able to continue to stay positive even when things don't go my way. And I realized that, nobody's perfect. I've seen time after time that even when things look like they're not going my way, that they're working for a better purpose, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm always encouraged because anytime I'm going through a rough time in life, I know that there's something beyond that I'm working towards. It's just a storm that I'm going through right now. I live my life now just really wanting to please God in every single thing that I do. One of them being, using my artistic abilities that He's given me. I stopped doing my clothing brand that I was working so hard for an entire year and change to get off the ground. And that was one of the most emotional but freeing moments of my adult life. And I realized that I would much rather have whatever God has planned for me over anything that I can try to make happen on my own. And every single day is super hard, It's hard not knowing exactly where your life is going and what's going to happen in the future, but it's also super exciting at the same time. And so even though I'm not doing my clothing brand anymore, my brand didn't define me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not defined by the things that I do. They're innately a part of me because that's what God has placed in me. It's just a matter of what I'm doing to use them. You know what I'm saying? So, next time on Life With Ikey, how to make a